Matt Lenihan, Boxing Social, in association with Empire Fight Store. We're here. Dave Coldwell, it's Barnsley, it's a nice local one. I'm buzzing about that. Callum Simpson, Zak Chelli, Oakwell, 7,000 sold out in less than 48 hours. Apparently this was the biggest pre-sale signing up I think they had in a long time. So I've heard. Excited for the fight?
Really excited for the fight. I'm excited for the occasion, and I've known and I've followed Callum since before he had his first pro fight. He used to work at Flannels, and I've kind of known him from.
And you definitely got Flannels.
No, my daughter did. But so I've known him and I've watched him and I've watched the story, and then the small old shows, and he's building his record up on small shows, and then getting his Sky breakout, and now the juggernaut that is Sky backing him. And the kid's not changed at all. He's still that kid that comes over and says hello to you rather than you waiting for people to come and say hello to him. Do you know what I mean? He's still the same kid. He's a great advert for people, never mind boxing, you know. So it's nice to see him at a football stadium. Everybody who boxes dreams of boxing in your hometown's football stadium, you know. And he's got that, so it's great.
He's got it early on as well. Look, Zak Chelli, no mug. He's been around this level for a long time, and if you don't prepare, you turn up, you'll get turned over. So it's a big step up for Callum. Forgetting what everybody's saying, it is a step up.
It's a real fight. Zak Chelli's, like you say, he's not no mug. Look at his record. Look what he's fought. He's had real fights. His roster of opponents is better than Callum's. So this is a real step up for Callum. So you've got to say that you know, odds and stuff like that, it's about who's putting money on. If you're in somebody's hometown, they're all lumping on, you know. So that's what shifts the odds. I don't buy into that. This is a real fight, and Callum's got to show something in this fight where, you know, he might find some frustrations because Chelli's style, his rhythm, can make a frustrating fight, and he's heavy-handed as well. So it can be a difficult fight, and when you've got a full stand, 7,000 people there, and singing your name, and you know, you've got that pressure on you. If things aren't happening as you want them to happen, it can lead to that tension and being tighter and tighter, and then you get frustrated, and then things just become really difficult. It can be a really horrible, hard night. With somebody like Chelli's style, his rhythm, raids attacks, scruffy punches sometimes, but heavy-handed. If Callum doesn't get it right, doesn't use his height and reach, doesn't have a good lead hand in this, it can be a difficult night. But he's got the tools to go out there and do a great job.
100%. Look, aside from this fight week, which obviously is a very good fight, obviously stadium, it's always exciting. Obviously,
if the weather's nice.
Say again?
If the weather's nice.
Look, it's boiling today. Let's pray to God it's warm tomorrow.
Yeah.
For being Saturday. There's another fight obviously taking place. We've talked to death about the Crawfords and Madrimovs, but now it's edging closer. When you look down the card, one fight we haven't really touched on that much, but I think it's probably the most intriguing one for me when you pick it is Martin Bakole, Jared Anderson. I look at Jared Anderson, and for years, you know, he's got the look. He seems to have the highlight reel knockouts. Martin Bakole, you hear all the gym stories on who he's beaten. I think it's hilarious, the back and forths that Billy Nelson, Sam Jones and everyone has. But we find out on Saturday for me. Purely 50-50 from the outside looking in. What do you think?
Definitely. This is the fight. That, you know, listen, the main event's unbelievable. But this is intrigue, excitement, action. I think this fight's going to have everything. You know? Jared Anderson, he's been hyped up. He's been built up to be the next American superstar of the heavyweight division. And in Bakole, he's been under the radar because nobody wants to fight him. It's very, very hard for him to get. When you have these stories, Billy needs to keep his mouth shut, stop scaring everybody, because all the sparring stories are the reason why you can't get a fight from Bakole. Now he's landed this huge opportunity, huge platform, huge opportunity against a big name fighter, a big name prospect. If he goes in there and performs like he does in the gym, then I expect him to win.
You've been witness to Bakole doing his thing in sparring a few times then?
No, I've seen him once, years ago. But if stories are true of how he performs in the gym, if he performs like he does in the gym, then I expect him to win. All seriousness, I expect him to win. I think he's going to win the fight. There's something about Jared Anderson. it was his last fight, I think it was, against Charles Martin. And I think there's something missing him. I don't know if he's tough enough. I don't know if he's got that dog in him enough. But listen, against Bakole, you need to have a dog in you. You need to be tough. You need to be mentally with it to withstand like shit going wrong and keep yourself together. I don't know if he has.
Well, I suppose just in a way like this fight week here, obviously, when you look at Callum and who he's been in with, again, Zak will find out because Zak won. Zak, in this fight, could this be, I suppose that's the question, isn't it? Is this the fight where Jared Anderson lives up to all the hype and potential? Because everyone's been saying he's the next one.
Yeah. If he does beat Bakole, then it's proved he's a worthy successor for American boxing. Yeah. It'll be a really, really good win if Bakole's fit, firing, and he's putting it on him, and Anderson copes with that pressure, outboxes him, grits him, sticks with it, rides out rocky moments, comes through, beats Bakole. That's a hell of a win. That's a great win for him. So, yeah.
100% look.
But I don't think he does. I think Bakole wins the fight.
I won't argue either way. I look at it and go, just don't know that one. Yeah. That's why I want to watch it. Other good fights on the card. I want to talk about something else. I've touched on it with a few of years. The Olympics. I want to touch on a few things. You say what you want about it, but judging to start with, we're going to go for that one. Delicious, I believe, looks like he was robbed of what should have been a victory. And we've also seen the inclusion of two people who have seemingly, it's been reported by the Guardian and the Telegraph, have previously failed gender eligibility tests, I'll get my word out, and testosterone tests. Just give us your reaction to what's happened in this Olympics so far, because I feel like
you guys can get me into trouble for shit like this. I don't know enough about this case. I'll be honest with you. All right, this is how I am, and call me what you want. I don't give a shit. In my opinion, that opening ceremony for me I've watched the Olympics since LA, Los Angeles, '84 Olympics. I've watched the Olympics everywhere. So my days, Daley Thompson, Carl Lewis, people. Then your Ben Johnsons. Then I've watched the Olympics. And then Usain Bolt taking over. I've always watched the athletic side. Then I started watching the swimming, and I love the Olympics. Every 4 years, I love it. Like even back in Tessa Sanderson with the javelin, there was her and Fatima Whitbread. Yeah. And back in them days, so I've watched all these Olympics. I watched that opening ceremony, and it's just the whole how the world's going. I'm a dinosaur, and what? I don't give a shit. I haven't watched any Olympics, I'll be honest with you.
Same.
So I can't comment on the judging. I can't comment on anything. I hear the judging's been really, really bad. No surprise to me, because
historically it hasn't been good, has it?
Yeah, you can say that. Roy Jones in, I think it was Seoul Olympics.
Yeah.
People like that. There's been so many cases, so I can't really comment on that. So I'm not going to comment on that. This particular case, I don't know enough about it, because it was reported in Telegraph and what have you, and then other people are saying, well, actually it's not quite this. I don't understand all that shit. What I will say is that women versus women boxing is dangerous. Men versus men boxing is dangerous. If you was born as a male, that means DNA, genetics, physical makeup, bone density, all sorts of shit is geared towards the male species, right?
Yeah.
You were born, crude as you want, with a set of bollocks, right? You shouldn't be fighting a woman. That's how I see it. Say what you want, I'll get called this, called that. I don't care. That's my opinion. That's my opinion, and that's how I am. And no matter what anybody wants to say, my opinion will never ever change.
How is there any? I said to Eddie Hearn the other day. How is there any blurred lines with this? This isn't a case of anything other than this sport is dangerous enough. It isn't running down a track. It isn't throwing a shot put. This is hurting people.
So this is it. If you want to do it, if it's male versus female darts, not a problem. It's stuff like non-physical, not a problem. But even running, look at the world record for men's 100 metres, the world record for women's 100 metres. There's a reason. So even that wouldn't be right. Look at swimming, it's not right.
I understand.
Right? So when it comes to punching people in the face, a man versus a woman is wrong. Never ever going to be right in my head. So people can say what they want. I don't care.
It's as black and white as it is for me.
It's not being transphobic, homophobic, whatever. It's none of that. It's none of that.
Nothing to do with that.
Simple. What's fair? That's it. If you're a man, you want to be a woman, or a woman want to be a man. Fair dues, no problem.
Yeah.
Do what you want. As long as you're not pushing it down me, I don't care. But when you're pushing it down my kids' throats at school, and you're not allowed to say good morning, miss, or good morning, boys and girls, and shit like that, then you're ramming it down people's throat for a minority.
No, I get where you're coming from. Appreciate your time. We will catch up maybe tomorrow, but possibly after this fight, and we'll see you soon. I appreciate it.
Cheers, mate.